Hey guys, Ryan Earnhardt here from CreativeSoundLab.tv. Today we're going to be talking about recording a singer-songwriter with ribbon mics. It's a great way to capture two instruments in close proximity. It's really the best of both worlds. You get really great rejection of stuff close by. You're able to minimize the weirdness of these mics interacting. It is a great approach for recording a singer-songwriter. Here's a little bit about some of the results that we're going to get today.
Again. Oh, this is me around my friends.
Okay, so recording a singer-songwriter like this with two ribbons, it's one of my favorite approaches. And really what makes this so cool is your ability to reject the instrument next to it. So you're trying to get vocal and avoid the guitar. You're trying to get the guitar, avoid the vocal. And it actually is always really difficult to try to get this right. And usually you end up with this kind of weird concoction of angles with the cardioid microphone. Usually the 3-to-1 rule would say that if the vocal mic is 6 inches away, we'd have to have the other microphone at least 18 inches away to avoid any sort of phase weirdness. But we just don't have that here. And figure 8 microphones, especially ribbons, really allow us to do this in a really nice and natural sounding way. Large diaphragms a lot of them can do figure 8 polar patterns. And I've used it many times in this kind of scenario. The difference between large diaphragms and ribbons here is the off-axis coloration. The ribbon microphone is really consistent throughout all the frequencies in how it creates its polar pattern. So at the low frequencies, it's the same shape as the mid frequencies and the same shape as the high frequencies. And this means that something coming into the sides of the mic won't sound weird at all. It'd actually be very pleasing and a very natural sound. Almost as if it's the same timbre of stuff going into the front of the mic, but it's just turned down in volume because we're rejecting it with the null. And that moves me to my next point, is the null of the microphone. Now, figure 8 polar patterns. We often see this graphically on a flat 2D piece of paper, but the null of a figure 8 polar pattern goes in all directions. So we have the null out to the sides, but we also have the null that comes out the top and the bottom of the mic. And this is really cool because we can null out the entire acoustic guitar by pointing the tip of the mic. We can also null out anything else that we need. So I did a couple tests with my friend Jonathan, and let's just check out this example as a starting point and see how it sounds.
This is me. This is who I am. Wild and free on the road again.
I'm trying to reject the other elements with the tip of the mic, and hopefully we can find a position where we can not only point the mic where we'd like, but also point the null of the mic to reject the other element, whether it be vocal or acoustic. Let's try something else.
This is me. This is who I am. Wild and free on the road again. This is me, yeah. Around my friends.
Maybe perhaps doubting myself a little bit. I actually like the acoustic from the first example. This, I was maybe trying to get some of the lows and make it sound clear. but I think number 1 might have been a little bit better for the acoustic. And the vocal, I don't think I even changed the vocal mic at all. So let's try a third example here and see what I come up with.
This is me. This is who I am. Wild and free on the road again. And this is me, yeah. Around my friends, on the road again. On the road again. On the road again. This is me. This is who I am. Wild and free on the road again. This is me, yeah. Around my friends, still the same. This is who I am. Wild and free, no. On the road again. Oh, this is me. Around my friends.
Just listen to the isolation and listen to the flexibility. I can very slowly bring in one track compared to the other, and they actually work pretty well. I don't have to have both tracks at a certain level to cover up the bleed.
This is me. This is who I am. Wild and free, no. On the road again. Oh, this is me. Around my friends.
Okay, so amazing flexibility here. Again, you don't have to have a vocal mic tucked underneath the acoustic mic. You can ride the vocal really hot in a mix and get away with it. In fact, a previous video I did on recording vocals with a ribbon mic, that was actually done to the acoustic track that was with singing at the same time. I actually could reuse that acoustic track for a multi-tracked session for vocal. And it's amazing how this knoll of the microphone is able to actually salvage a performance that was done with live vocal, and we're able to pretty much get away with it except for one phrase. Let's check it out.
This is me. This is who I am. Again. This is me. Around my friends. Still the same. Never depends.
Figure eights on a singer-songwriter is probably one of the best tricks in the book. And I'd love to hear what you think of this. I'll be hanging out in the comments below.